Mississippi State announced today that effective for the 2025 season, there will be LED lighting in Davis-Wade Stadium. This is a long overdue change. Mississippi State, Mississippi State will be one of the final teams to do it, but at last they're finally going to do it. Gives Zach Selman a lot of credit because as recently as a few weeks ago, he was making some comments that I didn't think this was very high up on the to-do list for Mississippi State. But there has been such an outcry from fans who, we watch games and we see what Tennessee and South Carolina and Ole Miss and Alabama and Auburn are able to do with their lighting, and Mississippi State fans want that. They want to have that same experience, as much as tickets cost and as much as gas costs and as much as the hotel rooms and everything else costs, you got to make it worth your fans' while. I say it all the time. This is entertainment dollars that are being spent here. And it's not just good enough to say, well, if you love your team, you can just do that. No. I mean, at that point, I can just give them the money for NIL, and I feel like I've done enough. Yeah. You want people to come to the stadium, you got to make it worth their while. This was the right thing to do for Mississippi State, to spend this money to put together the right LED package for Davis-Wade Stadium. So I can't wait to see how it works out. I'm sure as a result of this, State will play nothing but 11 a.m. games next year. But, I say that. State has an incredible schedule next year. The teams that are coming to Davis-Wade Stadium are fantastic. You've got 4 playoff teams coming in, plus Ole Miss, coming to Davis-Wade Stadium next year. So you got some good opportunities to have some night games there and enjoy all this. Still need to fix the sound system. Still need to get that uniform tidied up a little bit. But I give Zach Selman full credit for listening to his fans, listening to his shareholders is what a lot of athletic departments want to refer to them as, and making it what is to me the right decision. And before we go any further, if you're one of these people, well, why don't they get a good football team first? Guys, you can try to do both at the same time. You can absolutely try to do both at the same time. And they have different jobs. That's Jeff Lebby's job, is to get the good football team. The athletic director's job is to make his fans have the best experience possible. This was a good thing.
Yeah, well, we do get this message, and you're right. He says high schools even have LED lights. Mississippi State was way behind on the in-stadium technology.
Correct.
Way behind. But that doesn't mean when they catch up, you say, well, what took you so long? Well, it's already been talked about. They're there now, and so at least they're there now.
Yeah, they needed to do, because here's the problem was going to be, if you kept waiting, the next thing was going to come out. And then when you were probably putting in the LED lights, whatever the next evolution of that Alabama and LSU and everybody else were going to be putting in, you were going to be behind on that. You needed to get this done, because otherwise you were going to be the only team in the conference that didn't have it. So
yeah. Somebody says the SEC Network night game against 3-5 Arkansas and 2-6 Mississippi State's going to hit like.
Well, that's not happening anytime soon, because State's at Arkansas this year.
That's right, they are.
Yeah, which means they won't play them at home until 2028 at the earliest if they keep the schedules the same way.
Does that mean Hadad's getting lights on his back deck too?
No, that was not. I asked Zach Selman, could we include that in the estimate, and he did not return my phone.
They should give you the old ones.
just one. I just need one.
Just one.
I just need one. I'm walking out there like 6 o'clock at night. My next door neighbor's just. It'd be like the scene on Christmas Vacation when they turn the house on. Like, yeah, exactly. Just falling over. Why is the carpet wet, Todd? Yeah. No, I couldn't get in on that. So
you knew this was coming. We'd way rather have some wins than lights.
Well, that's Jeff Lebby's job. That's not Zach Selman's job. And Zach Selman, the part of his job that is tied into getting more wins, he's done that job. He has gotten Mississippi State into a good spot from an NIL perspective. So he's done his work on that. Now he needs to do the other part. And he's doing it.
Yeah, and we talk about this all the time. Not every fan that goes to games even loves football. They have a husband or a wife or a kid that loves football. Mm-hmm. Or they love the social scene, and the football game is just something that they got to go to do everything else. And for those people, you have to give them more than just a football game because Mississippi State has not sold out their stadium since when? That's not a shot. This is just they haven't sold out their stadium since when?
2018.
If you want to sell out your stadium, you need to appeal to people that don't really care about what's going on the field.
You got to, and even the people who do care what's going on the field, everybody benefits from an improved fan experience. When you go to the game and the lights are awesome and the sound is awesome and you feel like you got your money's worth, it encourages people to want to give and to come to games more. You know, even diehard fans right now are like, I don't know,
and that's not a good place.
Especially
to be.
when you combine it with the team not being great.
And there's something about like your team getting a big turnover, or a touchdown or whatever, and then the lights start flickering, and there's a song this techno song you've never heard of that's thumping the speakers, and that gets you more willing to be the person that impacts the outcome of the game.
Yeah. Let's just tweet right here. Recruits like it. Yes. Recruits want to come and play in an atmosphere that is fun and that is exciting. They don't want to hear, well, you know, we didn't have these in 2014. 2014, those recruits were 7. They don't care what we had in 2014. They care what's happening now.
Kevin on the text line says, first, these young people want to stand up when something good happens. Now y'all want flashing lights?
I mean, yeah. First of all, I'm not a young person.
Somebody says regarding the random techno sends us a GIF of oh gosh, what's the movie with Will Ferrell, the figure skater?
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory. No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
It's what a real athlete's body looks like.
Yeah. Strider says, you said the fans wanted this. I could care less. You're not selling out the stadium because the product on the field sucks. Environment is not the problem. Agree to disagree. Well, we appreciate you, but there have been good teams since 2018 at Mississippi State, and there have been games worth going to, and they didn't fill the stadium up.
Yeah. I mean, 2022, they won 9 games, but there were not full houses for when they played Texas A&M and Arkansas. Games they won.
And the seats that are empty are the casuals.
Yeah.
That's who's not filling up those last remaining seats. That's who they're trying to appeal to with stuff like this.
The other side of that, which I always bring up, is if you don't care one way or the other, but there's a large group of fans that does care, market to those people. You're saying I'll come whether there's lights or not. Okay, well then your opinion is irrelevant. And there's no fan who's like, I don't want this. And if there is, I can't help them. Their opinion has to be kind of irrelevant too. Sorry, I'm not sorry. To be honest with you.
And you mean that complimentary? It's like you're the person that's already.
You're already bought in. You're buying your tickets. You're coming to the game. Great. This person over here says they would come to the game if we had this. Let's get that.
Got to find a way to get them in. One thing that I saw Baylor did, which I think that State and Ole Miss and every school that doesn't have a full house that day should do, is they had employees of the university. They would just would stacks of tickets in their hands, and they would walk around the tailgate area and like, hey, $10 for this seat right here. You want it? Mm-hmm. And you got people that are hanging out at the tailgate, don't have tickets, and there's a lot of people that do that. Get a couple beers in them, and like the group's going to the game, and they're like, you know what? $10, fine. I'll go in.
Yeah.
I think that, like Ole Miss tomorrow night in basketball, the game's not sold out. It's close, but it's not sold out. I know they have to cap student, and they might be already doing this. I don't know. I have not spoken to Keith Carter about this, but have the remaining tickets that you have, once you have to cap the student entries, just hand the tickets for free to the other students.
Yeah.
Whatever's left over, sorry, y'all, you got to sit in the upper deck, but at least you're in here. Stuff like that to just kind of get people showing up, because midweek games, you're not Kentucky, right? You're not going to sell them out every time. But you can enhance the environment with things like that. Anyway. Somebody says a fan that has epilepsy has left the chat.
Yeah. But they already put that warning up for, like, you know, the little bit of work, of stuff they do on the Jumbotron. There's a warning for that. So, yeah.
Speaking of